Hey guys, Kevin here with the Attack of Opportunity, bringing you the next part of our Super Robot Taisen Original Generation Let's Play. So the first thing you're going to notice here is that the story is starting to get a little deeper at this point. You're going to see it later in the mission when things really start getting crazy. Some of the bigger fights in the game are coming up in some of the next couple of missions, so I'm going to show you some of that and let you guys take a look at it. They also have a little bit of humor in the opening scene here. It's actually really nice. You're actually seeing the exchange right here. I actually slowed this down so you guys could read it and actually get some story for you, because there isn't much going on screen. So, yeah. And I apologize again, just for the long ass wait, but life's been kicking my ass. I needed some time off. So yeah. Also, how did I mention it? This is actually going to be a very unique mission for one reason. Most of the fighting takes place underwater, so not only are some of your units going to have some restricted movement range, but their weapons are not going to be working properly once the actual fighting begins. And you will see more of that once the actual fighting starts taking place. This is going to be a long one. And the sudden skips and jumps there, more or less, I had to stop and answer an IM or something, and the emulator I use freezes when you go to a new window. So I apologize for that. I did what I could to cut out the rest of the background, but those little skips and pauses are still in there. I'll do what I can to get those out of there for the next one. Okay. Yeah, this one's gonna be kind of long. There is a nasty story dump here. You actually hear mention of the Weiss Rider at that point. Sorry for the little random disappearance there. But, yeah. And here we also meet a new mech that, to my knowledge, we won't be meeting until much later in the game, but you do get a quick look at one of the more powerful mechs in the game. As well as Katina and Russell make their appearance here as well. And our Arrogator friends make their appearance again. Let's see here. Let's see. So we've got another fight going on here. Basically, the idea behind this, the team is going to meet the Shirogane, as well as a couple of other important figures at a base in the Antarctic. However, they run into trouble on their way there, and this battle ensues. So yeah. So, okay. Okay. What you see here is more or less... you mentioned before that your weapons don't work properly, and Sengar did mention this as well. Energy-based weapons do not work underwater. So, actually, the only two mechs I have that can do any fighting here are the Gungrust and the Taisen, because I don't have any melee weapons for my other mechs. So you're gonna see maybe two mechs and a couple of others fighting off. And again, apologies for the pauses there. Answering messages, and the computer was doing other stuff. So yeah, you'll also notice here, the fighters are abso-fucking-lutely useless for the most part, except for maybe one weapon. Their autocannon does next to no damage, whereas the homing missile will nearly destroy just about anything it touches. Go figure. Let's see. And let's give you a look at what this thing can do. As you can see, most of the weapons are grayed out here because they do not work during this mission. The heat horn and the claymore should have been lighting up at that point. And yeah, those two guest Pence models can barely move as it is, too. I so cannot wait until I get the Voice Rider back. That thing was so much fun. And yeah, the mechs themselves can take quite a beating, but this mission you should have absolutely no problem with. You'd be cutting through these things like a hot knife through butter. I mean, the arrogators themselves are very fucking weak. If my fighters are taking them out in 2 to 3 hits, there's a problem. I'm just playing around with some of the settings for the Hiryu. Checking, you know, what the water capabilities would be, things of that sort, because I hadn't really played with it in a while. And being stupid, I decided, okay, perhaps the autocannon would finish him off. No, it didn't. And here we go. A bunch of new enemy units appeared. Exactly what you don't really need right now. And Sanger's kind of off in his corner, all Taisen's off in his corner. This is going to be a very short fight because of this little beauty here. This thing I saw take out maybe 5-6 propagators on its own. Not propagators, arrogators. Mixing up my games now. I've seen this mech here take out maybe 5 or 6 of them. They don't really tell you anything about this thing other than a name, and then show you a little bit of what it can do. So yeah, this is a very, very simple mission. It really is. It's more or less just meant to give you a little bit of plot and a quick, easy fight to kind of give you something to do. I've never really failed this mission. It's next to impossible to do. Unless, of course, you know, you're stupid and leave the Hiryu out in the open and it gets destroyed. But I've yet to see somebody actually lose this mission. Simply for the reason that almost any weapon that touches these things nearly destroys them. And you'll see that again in like 2 seconds. It's ridiculous. But yes, I really got to make some good use of the gun ghost here, and the Taisen actually. It's very rarely I see these two really getting the solo stuff on their own. Let's see. Should almost be done here. There's maybe 3 or 4. Dun. So yeah, 1 or 2 more of these things left. I think this fight is almost over. There it is! That is the end of chapter 4? 5? One of those two? It's been so long I can't remember. And we get a little bit of a plot dump here as well. After this fight, a little think something happens that you will see in a second. And again, I apologize for this. I was multitasking when I made the recording, and it freezes every time I open up a new screen. And there it is. Now you get your first actual conflict, or major conflict from in the game. Another faction comes up and starts causing you problems, so we're going to see that in a moment. And it's here that this game actually starts getting difficult. Alright. Let's see. And that is all for this look at Super Robot Taisen Original Generation. I'll see you guys next time on the Attack of Opportunity. This is Kevin, signing off.